Hello there. You see Biscuit? You see her? She's a menace. Hold on. That was Biscuit. But hello. Hello and welcome back to my channel, Marissa Gone. Biscuit says hello. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for subscribing and thank you for being patient with me. I know I don't upload that often, like at all. Which is going to change. It's going to change. That's what I claim. I claim it to change because that's what I want. I really do want my consistency of posting content to change. I want it to be more consistent. So, this is my attempt. We have a couple things we're working on in the background. Also, mind you, background on me, I am an entrepreneur. I am working for myself. And so for the last 6 months, I've just been working for myself, reporting to only me, clocking in to only me. And it's been a challenge. It's really rewarding for real. It's definitely teaching me a lot of like personality traits about myself as well as business and like that was Biscuit jumping in. But just being an entrepreneur, it's not for the weak at all. By no means is it weak. I mean, meant for weak people. It's definitely meant for patient people, and that's something else that I ask for is just some more patience with just everything. So I'm learning a lot with patience, but I feel myself getting the lowest vibration at the end of the month. And y'all know why. Because of rent. Because it's coming up. And for the last 3 months, intensively, I've been working on my drop shipping websites and project. And I am so proud of myself. Like, point blank, I'm really proud of myself from where it came from a year ago of it like being introduced until now, where it's like, okay, now it's fully introduced and we have implemented 3 different products with drop shipping. So now we're like learning about ads and running ads and like the secret to creating ads and to get people to click and to convert to shoppers. Like that's where I'm at right now, which is challenging again. Another challenge. I'm at the point now with ads where I've spent too much and haven't gotten half of what I've spent in return. The ROI is not eyeing or Ring. It's not returning. It is not ROIing. You know what I mean? So that has been very discouraging the last probably 24 hours. Also, yeah, my mic is like folded up. It looks all weird, but it's just folded. I bust this thing out because I'm like, what other job can I do right now to continue funding my business, but also my other personal expenses? And so there are a few jobs that I saved like over the last year. I've just been on this path of like, this is what I don't want to work for anyone else. I just want to work for myself. Anyways, I saved this one job in particular where it's voiceover, hence the mic and the setup right here. So that's why we got this going on right now. Just because you can get paid to use your voice. And I've been told that I have a nice voice. Like to toot my own horn, to toot it, because I will toot it. I have been told that I have a nice voice since a child. Since I was a kid, I've been told that I've had a nice voice. And yeah, just throughout my life. So I'm like, why not? Let me do this. I don't have to report to a boss. Obviously, it's just the writer of these books, these podcasts, these movie scripts, whatever it is. I've seen it. It's mostly books. There's a lot of different genres of books. I want to focus on one in particular, and they pay you per hour, and then it'll tell you like how long it's expected to read the whole book. So like 3 to 5 hours, but you're getting paid 50 to 100 per hour. So I'm like, I'll take that. I'll take that. Plus I'm reading. And I'm learning. Plus I'm using my brain. So yeah, we'll be reading. So I'm getting into that. We are still doing jewelry. Like, I don't want you to confuse it with nothing. Like, we are still doing jewelry. We are still on my business. Sweeter is not going anywhere. The thing with Sweeter is that it's getting bigger and bigger and expanding. Mentally, like, I have the vision here, and then it's just I have to manifest it here in the physical world by doing work. Like, we have to do the work to do it. And so learning more and putting action behind what we're learning, those are the top two things that I have been focused on since day one, is learn and execute. So as far as these ads go, is like I'm learning and I'm executing it, and every time that it doesn't hit, I turn it off, I redo it, I relearn something, and I re-execute. It is about to be Black Friday, and I'm like, I'm not about to miss this. I'm not about to miss it. So we are going to redo the ads. We've learned a new technique. We're going to redo the ads. We're going to edit them, post them, and get them up in time for Black Friday through Cyber Monday. And that's the goal. And not only are we on jewelry, but we do have another side business of another product that we're working on, unrelated to Sweeter, but it's getting its props. It's trendy right now. So we're working on that as well. And I don't know about you, but I kind of really like this whole setup here. Like the nice little ambient background. Biscuit is right over here. Can't really see her, but she's right off in the corner. There she is. And this is my desk. This is where I spend most of my time. And the lighting is coming from my laptop. And the mic is literally plugged right into my phone. But a few more things about me, where I'm at currently right now. Mentally, we are pushing past a lot. Like, on the surface, we're looking cool, calm, and collected. Obviously, through Instagram, we're looking like everything's fine because, like, I'm controlling what we're putting on there. But for YouTube, for this goal right here, I actually want to be very candid with this, because I know that this is going to be temporary. Like, I know that. Like, I have faith and I do have patience, and I am learning that all of this is to teach me, to humble me, to keep me patient, to keep me faithful, remain loyal to God, like loyal to myself, believe in myself. I know that this is what it is. And so right now, currently where I'm at right now is like, I don't even know how to explain it. I really don't know how to explain it. But it's like, take that I know, like the blessings and all my manifestations, they're there. Like, they exist. That version of Marissa does exist. And she has everything that she wants. She's there. But the version that I'm holding this mic right now and talking to you is the version of Marissa that doesn't have it yet, that we're still waiting on, and that can see through the glass mirror. We're waiting on that line. We're waiting outside of the club, but we can't. We're waiting to get in. Like, we can get in, and we're gonna get in, but we're waiting. So I just want to bypass it. A couple notes, a couple takeaway notes. Biscuit is doing okay. If you've been following me on Instagram, you know, or maybe you haven't, but now you know. She is going through something. We don't have the blood work just yet, but she was expensive. She was expensive. So that's another thing I want to work on is getting her a UGC portfolio and a GoFundMe and a whole Instagram page so that way she gets to working. Like, let me get her working. So, yeah, I'm going to do that. I really do want to be consistent on YouTube, on TikTok, going live. Let me tell you another note, another key takeaway note. And this is another reason why it's inspiring me on just to do it, just to put myself out there. Like, it really is about bravery and privacy and attention. So it's like being careful of what you want attention for and like what you want to keep private. And like, yeah, I'm at this point right now where I know my situation is temporary of like, and when I say my situation is like the struggle, period, the motherfucking struggle, period. That's my situation. And I feel like a lot of us are there. Like, not that I feel, but I know a lot of us are there. Of like, it's end of the month, rent is coming, our insurance, our car stuff, everything that is on auto pay, all of that is restarting. So we have to earn just enough for our expenses. But then it's also like the upkeep, the socialness, like wanting to go just put some money in your gas tank to go do things. Like, you need money for these things to make the world go round. And there are like a lot of things that I'm learning, which I'm not sure if I should like really release what I'm learning just yet, but I can kind of sprinkle a little bit on y'all. But money ain't real. And I know that kind of sounds like what, but money isn't what we think it is. Like, the place that we're living in, the country, so to speak, has hidden a lot of information. I'm gonna keep this very broad and general because I'm not trying to get canceled, sought after, or have the fucking. No, we're good. But there is just a lot that they have hidden from us and that they have controlled as far as information. And like, when it comes to money and taxes and how we identify ourselves on certain paperwork, it's all a broken system. And I see why they say that. Like, I see why they say like the Federal Reserve is a broken system. Like, I have been hip to it. I've been down my little rabbit hole of theories. But the more and more that I'm actually learning about it, and when I tell you I'm learning about it, I'm in a whole like course and there are references, and now we have AI. So it's like we can use AI to summarize these codes. But I am still learning about it. A few of my friends know about it because they're also into like the theories, and they just know that there is a lot of information that they're hiding from us and that they're not telling us and that they're like redoing to blind us. And I will let you guys know more when I figure that out as well. But one thing I can say is that it's super easy to open up a trust. Okay. It's very easy. It's free. In fact, it's free. And it took me 5 minutes to open a trust. You literally just go to irs.gov and you open up a trust. And once you open up that trust, you then start to open up all your businesses underneath that trust, and that trust is then taxed differently. Um, I don't know if your algorithm is like that, but my algorithm is now like that, where it's like people are talking about this. So I'm glad that it's not out there. If you guys follow My Life or Debt on Instagram, My Life or Debt on Instagram, he talks about like opening trusts and businesses under the trust to get taxed differently. So it's like he has a portion of this information correct. And then this other Instagram that I'm learning from, he has a course that you can sign up for. It's completely free. He has 20 plus videos. Each video is like 2 hours. Well, not all of them. But his Instagram, One Stupid Fuck, I know. It gets you. He psychologically gets you. But he has the email newsletter that I suggest signing up for. I'm no way affiliated with them, but they're just who I'm learning this from, to kind of just like reference and just like the credibility. But I really do want to eventually share that information in my own tone to people, because it is a cheat code. It's like a Sims cheat code. I used to play Sims, and I used to play Grand Theft Auto more than Sims, because the cheat codes in Grand Theft Auto was just way more fun. You can spawn a free car. And there is actually a way that you can spawn a free car like in real life. And they teach you that. Like there are different ways to sign paperwork, checks, billing statements, anything, a lease. Like there are certain ways that we need to sign and endorse things than what we're being led to believe, than what we're being taught. Like we just scribble a little cursive signature and we think that's it. No, we're wrong. We've been wrong for a very long time. And that's okay. That's not our faults. It's just the lack of knowledge, the hidden knowledge. It is knowledge out there. People know to use it. Banks use it. But people don't. Not the right way. But that's everything I'm learning is free car spawn, cheat codes. Just like we can really cheat code this out. So that's an update from me. Another update, I don't even know what else. I got Biscuit. I got my drop shipping. I've got a whole nother course I'm learning about just like becoming a free person. Because like the meaning of citizen doesn't like mean what we think it means. And it's not about being sovereign. It's not about that. But if you know about that, then like you're on the right track. What else? Shoot. I think that's all my updates for real. I still do smoke, just not as much, just because I'm not in that industry anymore. I guess we could talk about the weed industry and how it really let me down. Y'all, get your tea. It's like, nah, my tea is still cooling down over there. It's literally right in the light right there. That red cup. But yeah, the weed industry, I'm not gonna say it let me down. To be honest, it really didn't. I think that's just me just exaggerating and being dramatic, which is fine. The weed industry actually did do a lot for Sweeter, for my brands. We've got our clips, dab tools, we got our jewelry in stores, and it was really easy just because of the connections and the networks that I've made while doing that job. Brand ambassador for weed companies, in case you don't know. For the last 3 years, I would travel around Maryland and do a job representative in each store, just hyping up products, the brand, talking information, talking news, talking new products, new releases, talking research, talking everything related to weed in Maryland. I was talking about it and pushing free swag, lighters, hats, socks, blankets, hoodies, t-shirts, like all the swag, ashtrays, lighter leashes, bags, pouches, rolling trays, like anything that the weed industry person needed in a swag item, we were giving it away. And it was a lot of fun. Don't get me wrong. It was a lot of fun. I still do it for my brand. The free things I give away is stickers and maybe crystals. If you purchase something, or if you're just like a sweetheart and like I really vibe with you, then I'll just give you a free crystal because like you deserve it. But the stickers are free. Visit a pop-up. The stickers are free. But that job really did teach me a lot for my own company. Yeah, for my own company. And that's why it's like, it didn't really fail me. It didn't really fail me because I did walk out there with relationships and networks. So that way Sweeter would become the brand that it is today. And like, we still have more to go. So like, we're still going up. But I wouldn't have learned and made those connections had it not been the weed industry. But I guess as far as like what really failed is, I don't even know. I don't even see it as a failure. I really don't. Because I saw this quote and I just kind of live by it. But I saw this quote that resonated deep and I was like, right. But it was like, it was talking about how don't be upset when food was taken away from you because you don't even know that that food was poisoned by that chef. Like, you should be happy. And so that kind of related to me in the sense of like, I'm glad that those jobs both ended the way that it did because it wouldn't have propelled me to push myself harder and to like push myself past it. Like, let me just come out and say it, but being fired humbles you so much, and being fired twice under a year humbles you like no other. Like, I don't even know how to explain it. If you've been fired twice in under a year when you've never been fired ever before, like, okay, we're back. I realized that the video cut off. I got a phone call yesterday and then I re-recorded, but the audio didn't catch up. So now we got Biscuit in frame and it is the next day. It's Thanksgiving today. I'm really excited because we planned on cooking and everything, but now we don't have to. But anyways, back to what I was saying of like just being fired. This is the first time that I'm actually admitting to being fired. There was a lot of shame and embarrassment behind it just because I got fired in 2023 September and then I got fired again June 2024. So not even a year. I got fired twice under a year. And this is the first time I've ever been fired, for real. And it's from an industry, the weed industry, that I personally have my own agenda. Like, I have jewelry, weed jewelry, roach clips, dab tools. Like, I actually have products within this industry. So like, getting into this industry was to basically use the industry, the platform, to further put more attention on my business. Like, the two go hand in hand. Like, I know how to brand rep my jewelry and my brand. So like, of course I know how to brand rep your weed. Like, I smoke weed. I use weed with my tools. Like, the two go hand in hand. And so I prided myself on the job that I did. Always got compliments, always got rave reviews for the job that I did, brand repping for the two companies that I did. And then just doing my own thing. You know, always getting compliments and, you know, those high fives, just the reassurance that I'm doing a great job. Like, keep going, Marissa. But then to be fired twice in under a year was kind of like an ego hit, a really big ego hit. It was a reality check. It was everything that I never thought of doing or expecting when it came to this. But then I saw like the hindsight of it and was like, you know what? I started my jewelry business so that way I didn't have to work for no one else, that I can sustain myself, that I can be my own boss. And so being fired twice in under a year was kind of like a blessing in disguise, in which that it was showing me that I really don't have to work for anyone else. Like, I really have to work for myself and I have to go all in. And so like, being kicked out, being thrown out, being forced out of the industry, out of a job was just like, yo, you have your own job. You have your own company, you have your own business, you have your own paperwork, you have your own leads, you have your own everything that you need to do for your business. So fuck everything else, fuck all the noise. And so that's what we did. Thankfully, the day that I was fired, my boyfriend was there and he asked me a bunch of questions and he started analyzing it. I'm like emotional, like crying, devastated. And he was just like analyzing it, just like, hold on, wait, did you do this? Did they do that? Da, 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 da. And he was like, this sounds like a lawsuit. And I'm like, I like wipe my tears and I'm like, money? And a week later, a previous lawsuit. So my lawyer from a previous lawsuit hit me up and was like, hey, the lawsuit clear. Come get this check. Period. And so when I went in, I picked up a nice fat check that has afforded me to live comfortably working for myself. But that kind of ran out. But when I went in, it was just a week later and I told him what happened to me. And he was like, well, I'm not an employment lawyer, but I know one. And so he recommended an employment lawyer and she's been killing it ever since. And that was back June, July. And so we're doing 2 lawsuits and I'm keeping it very broad and very general just because she did advise me, both of these lawyers did advise me to keep this confidential. So I'm not giving you any details other than the fact that we are in a lawsuit and that it has been a blessing in disguise. I say all this to say that even though I was fired and forced out of this industry, I'm still going to get a fucking check. I'm still getting paid. Reparations will be served. And my whole thing of like, I've been going through a lot of emotions with this whole thing just because I am tied to this. Like my business is tied to the weed industry. Like I have products that go with this industry. So a lot of emotions, a lot of pride. I'm really proud of myself for networking and keeping all those relationships because once I got out of it, I started putting my stuff in stores. And so if you guys have been following me, my products are in actual retail stores. And that was based off of my relationships that I built. Period. And so a lot of pride with that, but then a lot of embarrassment and shame of like, this is the first time that I've ever been fired. And then I get fired twice in under a year in the same industry that I really had high hopes for. Like we all have these preconceived notions that this weed industry is like cool and fun and hippie and da, 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 da. And it's like at the bud tender level, at the brand rep level, but when it comes to like the people you report to, your managers, your bosses, they're still all old white guys from other corporate industries that just came over here with all their money and just was like, well, let's just open another business. So that's it really at the end of the day. Like in the background, these MSOs, like these large companies, most of these weed companies are all from old white guys that have money from previous industries that now just take all that and come into this industry because they see the money. And they kind of just like destroy the image, like in the background image of all this shit. And it's just like, you know what? I'll just grow my own. Not that I am, because I don't have the space nor the lighting for it. But when we get to that point where we do have the own space, I'm just going to grow my own. I done learned how to do it now. So I'll just do it myself. Because it's just like, it really is saddening that I really looked at this industry with like rose colored glasses and was like, yo, like this is gonna boost my business. And then it just like failed me. It like forced me out. It was like, it kicked me out. It was like, you're too cool for this. You're too cool. You're gonna blow it up. Like you're gonna expose us. Whatever. But I'm getting over it, realizing that everything that I'm going through, I feel like all my trials and tribulations is for a reason. It's for a reason. And I think the reason is to kind of like share it. I personally feel better when I do talk about the trials and tribulations and like my bullshit. Like, I do feel better. It's like it's lifting off my chest. Like it's not on me no more. It's not a burden. Like I can speak on it. And I feel like YouTube and long form videos and maybe podcasts, we'll get into podcasts maybe. But I feel like this is that outlet to express ourselves and to also relate and help other people. And I say that because I saw a video with a woman. I don't relate to her at all. We don't even live in the same time zone. We look completely different from each other. She has a completely different age range, so she has a different mindset. But she has said something about her struggle that made me resonate. And she's on YouTube too. And it's like, for us that are on YouTube, that are brave enough to put ourselves on YouTube, we go through this shit so that we talk about it on YouTube. And I was like, what do you mean? And she was like, it's the attention. Like, we want attention. Like, for those that are on YouTube, for those that have businesses, we want the attention because the attention pays. The attention pays. The attention on my jewelry business, it pays. It does pay. The more attention on my business, the more that it gets paid. And I feel like what's going on in my background should also get paid. It should, because hear me out. Hear me out. I'm just like, every month is something new where I'm just like, what the fuck? What? Where is my break? Why am I going through this? And I started to understand from the lady who was like, it's because we have a story to tell and we're supposed to be telling it for attention to help other people. And like her video with her attention and everything, it helped me kind of get over like the embarrassment and the shame of being fired. It really did help. Like it did, because I'm out here and I'm willing to talk about it and put myself out there and have this video up here. Like, I hope this video ages well, but it's like each little thing that keeps happening, whether it's my cat and her bloody stool, whether it's my liver and its condition. I don't know if I mentioned this already, but now I have a liver condition. So I have to watch everything I eat. No more caffeine, no more cold stuff, no more processed anything. Everything has to be cooked. No more spicy, like no more heavy spices. So like coriander and cinnamon and cumin, those are considered spicy to the liver. Yeah, so my whole diet really just changed because that's all I do is caffeine, spicy food, and sweets and cold smoothies. So that's literally everything. That took into effect last month. So we have a liver condition now. Yeah, and our car situation, the car registration has expired and I need to pay rent before I pay my car registration. The struggle. But it's like, I know on the other side I have a check. So being fired and everything, again, I don't know if I mentioned this because I'm just rapping, but that day that they fired me, luckily my boyfriend was there and he was really analyzing everything. And he was like, this is a lawsuit. And I like wiped my tears up and I was like, you're fucking right. And so that's where we're at. I don't want to speak too much on it, keep it confidential, but there is a fat check waiting on me. And the timeline is actually really, really soon. Like in the next month or two, this should be done. And it's just our first lawsuit. We're actually suing them 2 times, but this first one is quicker. It's like a 6-month turnaround. So we're in our 5-6 months. We're at the end. We're near the end. So we're at it. And then our second lawsuit is going to be like a year to 2. And so we're going to do that one after this one gets cleared. So we have checks waiting on us. I'm also in this money course where I sent in some tax returns of my federal withholdings over the last 3 years. That's a nice check. That's a nice check too. Um, Tidbit on that. We have the option of paying income tax. Like it's not required, it's optional, but they make it seem as if it is required just through propaganda. And you see celebrities and you see presidents and you see senators and everything going into scandals of this person so and so hasn't paid their taxes. And they propagate that to scare us of like, oh, well, if we don't pay our taxes, we'll get fucking sued and audited just like these people. It's like, no, they do that on purpose. We actually don't have to pay our taxes. But that's for a later story. That's it for me. Those are all my updates. If this resonated with you, share it, like it, subscribe to my channel, drop a comment, drop a emoji, drop something, like interact with my video. Please help my video and the algorithm of my YouTube go up, because that is the whole purpose, is like attention. So give me some attention down there. Give me a like, give me a subscribe, give me a comment. If you're one of my friends that came over from Instagram, you better comment. That's all I'm going to say. It's like, if you don't, look, see, Biscuit, even Biscuit is coming out the gates telling you, like, she's watching you. If you're coming from my Instagram, leave a comment, subscribe, and Biscuit's going to be watching. Until next time, thank you for joining me. Thank you. If you enjoyed this video, let me know. Okay, goodbye.